Hello, fantasy football fans. Welcome to another Getting Defensive on Wednesday night. My main man here, Johnny the Greek. What's going on, John?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm just here ready to talk some IDP. Unfortunately, we were going to have Stompy Sam Lane on from Twitter, have a little reunion like thing. This is the second one in a row he's not been able to make, but he's dealing with some things that definitely can't, he can't be here. So we'll catch up sometime with him.
Yeah.
We've been like near miss. I thought maybe we would have Justin Barnes on, just near miss there. He almost was going to come on. And Roxanne should be popping in here shortly. So I think, is there anything on the top of your head there, John?
Yeah, I mean, just before the show, we were talking about, yeah, we both heard the Chris Jones thing, which I mean, okay. As long as he remains a DT on the sites I play him at, I don't give a shit where he lines up.
No.
And then Jerome Baker, though, that signing, that is a little bit of a head scratcher. He feels like just a warm body to me. And they got McKinney too, and you remember their lineups last year. They rotated guys in and out. A Landon Roberts and Kyle Van Noy, who went to the
Mhm.
Patriots. But there were like 5 or 6 different guys that rotated through
Well,
there last year. So it
well.
feels weird. What's your take on that?
Well, when it comes to Baker, I am totally blown away by that. I mean, that's a lot of money, 39 million for 3 years, and the guy has not perfected any skill set, any certain one skill set that he needs. He's good at a couple, lacks at a couple. I'm shocked. I've been one that's been telling people, I'll be fading Baker. Um, I think it sets it up for one of those scenarios that we see that happens often. Somebody gets paid and it never pans out. I'm not excited about it. It's not going to influence me avoiding him because I'm going to avoid him still. I'd rather see him on somebody else's roster. As far as Chris Jones, yeah, I mean, the only benefit is the fact that, if he's still a designated defensive tackle, he's going to get a few more options or ways to opportunities, sorry, to get some sacks. So, but I wouldn't be, thinking I found a ringer all of a sudden
Yeah.
at defensive end play or edge rusher play. So,
Yeah, if they move him, he loses value. His value is as a DT in IDP. Like as a DT, he's one of the top 5 that you take off the board. But as a DE, he becomes like a top 15 guy, 20
yeah,
guy. Like
right.
it. So
He's really
that
not been the guy that's flashed at one point,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He had that season where he had 15 sacks, and he's come back to earth a little bit since then. Yeah.
Right, right. He's not. He's fell down the rankings. Maybe this will help. This would be cool. I mean, we definitely could use him back up there as one of those better options because there's not a huge amount of them. So, but yeah, I'm not impressed with that Baker though. I'm worried. I can't believe it seemed like I thought that the organization had been doing really well. I mean, I've been watching the news, seeing what they're doing. Hey, they're on the right track. This was like the shocker for me, and hopefully I'm wrong, Dolphin fans, but I'm just
Yeah.
not. I'm not excited about it at all. It actually makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and,
So,
and remember last year he had that massive week 1, and everyone overreacted and dumped all their fab and waiver wire priority to grab him, and it was like we knew it was bullshit. We were calling it out
mm-hmm,
immediately. Like this is
mm-hmm,
stupid. If he's on this defense or last year the Lions defense or the Patriots defense, basically any year, you can't count on that production because the wind could change by 1 mile an hour, and all of a sudden he loses 70% of his snaps
yeah,
just because that's how those defenses work. You know what I mean?
right,
So,
right, right.
yeah. No, I still don't buy it either. I am avoiding. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm hoping here we get Roxanne to join in. We're going to probably do a little bit of this, on the clock type thing with John, but I realistically, I'm in the mood tonight, man. I don't know what to say. I just like to talk about a little bit of the football that's happened lately. because we haven't had much. So apparently Chandler Jones, there's a little bit of problem down there in Arizona. He's not wanting to show up for camp. What's he wanting to reconstruct or something?
Oh yeah, I saw that, and then I saw Hunter did show up. That was good news.
What's that?
Daniil Hunter did show up, and then they restructured his deal, so that was good. Chandler Jones not good. So
Yeah,
we got one good, one bad.
yeah. I wonder what that does for J.J. Watt.
Camp, yeah, I don't know. So it's weird, right? It
Yeah,
depends on whether or not you believe that having that guy on the other side helps make Chandler Jones better. I've heard both sides of that argument. I don't know. I don't know what to
yeah,
believe.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I mean, it's a matter of you kind of, it is what it is now if you bought into it. I've been nervous about Chandler Jones. Basically, I thought he lost a step myself. So I thought, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he's going to come back this year after last year and have a really good season. Who knows? But got to get him on the field. So you guys
yep.
ought to be keeping track of that. I wanted to mention too, keeping track of stuff. Hey, just a little update. I've been using that app for at U Stadium, at U Stadium on Twitter. They got a fantasy football app, and I'll tell you the notifications, John. I think I mentioned it last time. I really do think that I'm going to use that a lot this year. It'll be handy on the phone while we're looking at everybody else.
Yeah.
You think anything else in the news that you think might be worthy about mentioning?
Newsworthy, no. Yannick Ngakoue said that him and Max Crosby are going to be the best DE duo in the league. Did you see that? I thought that was
No,
fun. That was funny.
no,
It's
yeah,
not news,
I
but
missed that one.
I
I
thought it
missed
was
that
funny.
one. Yeah, the best, huh?
Yeah, the best duo in the league. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's highly debatable at best, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I was just pumped about the Hunter thing, right? Because there are a lot of questions after last year, and to see him come back to camp and then restructure and sign the deal, big stuff, huge
Yeah,
stuff. That gives us another top five DE back in the mix,
yeah,
which
right.
is good. Yeah,
Anybody care out there? Bradley Chubb, Anthony Barr, and it looks like Bud Dupree are all going to be fine for the season at this point. So local, just a recent news, little blurbs. We'll see. I'm trying to think of something here on the fly, man. Because there've been some interesting things. I'm just going to get my head focused on it.
yeah,
Yeah. Still waiting to see how this turns out with the Panthers.
yeah,
Um, who's saying Reddick might play like the strong side linebacker or something. That
yeah.
if the
And that, I mean, for me, that just depends how he gets designated, right? Like,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
if he's going to be one of those sack dependent linebackers, I'm not going to have him anywhere.
right,
But if he catches the DL tag in whatever sleeper Yahoo, that gives him some value. So we'll just have to
right,
see what happens with that.
yeah. Well, I mean, with them having Burns and then a second year dude, I'll never even try to repeat his
Oh
name.
yeah,
Yachts Scottis, something. And I mean, that's a good way if they would do that to keep those two on the field playing defensive end, and then still have a pass rusher and Reddick as that strong side linebacker. So I would start.
yeah,
Somebody's coming off the field. If Perriman's in the middle, it's got to be him coming off the field most of the time.
yeah, and that would be similar to like what Minnesota was doing, right? With like Anthony Barr as a
Right.
pass rusher. Yeah, I could see that.
Unfortunately, my Anthony Barr never gets any tackles or sacks to amount to shit. So hopefully, I mean, pretty much, I think in most formats, he's been unusable overall for a long time.
Yeah,
He's almost the waiver wires I ever see.
right, right. He's like the Ryan Kerrigan of that position.
Right,
The
right,
occasional flash in the pan, but
right.
that's about it. Yeah.
Speaking of Kerrigan, who do you sign with Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philly.
Isn't
Yep.
that exciting?
No.
No, 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 it's not, folks. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he breathes second life into his career, but don't go chasing rainbows.
Yeah, don't go chasing 33% of snap defensive ends that are, sack dependent on a team that's already got a lot of chefs in the kitchen when it comes to
Yeah,
that position.
right. No doubt. Let's see. I'll throw out a little update, man. I really like what's going on with Gerard Davis up in New York. I like at least how the talk is right now.
Yeah.
He's one of my breakout calls, so of course this is why I'm going to bring it up. It's something to talk about at the moment. But I mean, there's a lot of positive vibes coming out in New York that he's going to probably get that first shot, that inside linebacker job with Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see. They're changing schemes. So that was actually apparently a reason Davis wanted to go there. So, as y'all know, or might know, he was the first unrestricted free agent to sign as a linebacker. He got decently paid. He got $5, considering what he's done for the last year or two. He got paid well, considering it's like $6,000 or $6 million a year. So, and it's on a down year for cap. So they had a little bit less this year. Those do matter. They'll fluctuate the market.
Yeah, and I like that signing because I mean the Jets are still the Jets, right? Like they've got a hello.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Just talking Jared Davis. Yeah, so what I really liked about the Jets last year was they were dead last in the league in time of possession offensively. So they're on the field all the time. You even got weeks out of Harvey Lange last year.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that would be a name that would help you in the fantasy playoffs? Well, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Tell me what team he came from before the Jets.
Oh, Christ. I have no idea. I didn't know he was alive. Oh, he was? He was on the Patriots?
And I believe he just signed back with them, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think it was that deep. If I remember right, I think it's the blurb I've seen. Hi, Roxanne. We was just going through some news and stuff, killing time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I knew Roxanne was just working, so she raced home to join
and
us.
And it's so hot in Colorado right now. We've had 102 degrees 3 days in a row now.
Ooh. Holy cow!
Gonna get tomorrow.
That's
wow. Hot. Yeah. We cooled off. We've been in the 70s last day or so.
It's coming for you.
Yeah. Well, but
horrible.
So since you missed right before, we'll probably just play a couple of rounds of the thing. Sam couldn't make it. I already told him that. I told him you was probably going to be on your way, or you would be on your way. But we'll probably only play a couple of rounds here at the end of that. But we was just covering a couple of things. The other one I wanted to mention too, John, if you ain't got anybody, I can talk for a few minutes, see what you think. So I know, Tyquan Lewis up with the Colts. Have you? See, it's. I think when with Hunter leaving, and I made him my call for a defensive line breakout this year. I hope it's a deep one, but everybody kind of got distracted by the high picks as the Colts took. And now it's recently come out the reason they could let Autry go is because they're really thinking that he took the step last year. Lewis took the step last year, and he's ready to go this year, which he's about a year behind in developmental stages, probably actually about a year and a half. He's been hurt. He missed a lot of his first rookie season and such, but there are some positives. So I just want to mention it because if you're listening and you get on a draft, keep Jared, keep Lewis in mind. They're all pot shots at that point, but I like just talking about it, especially when you get positive news.
Always.
What are you thinking about Lewis, or you got any thoughts on him? None. Yeah, that's most people don't. Most people do not. That's it. Well, I brought it up and I think Justin might have a little bit on it, but I brought it up a couple times. Everybody's like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Don't forget the name, Tyquan Lewis. or Brandon Jones. I like Brandon Jones down there in Miami. All right. Well, I don't know, man. You got anything else? Nothing. It's all me.
Yeah, news wise, nothing. I'm coming
It's
up with names.
just dead, ain't it?
It is. I'm coming up with names for our game
Got a
here.
couple.
All
Yeah.
right.
I thought there was something I saw. Hang on, I want to see. I thought I bookmarked something, a news story I saw.
Let's see.
There's nothing.
Yeah, folks. Let you know. We didn't tape yesterday. While Roxanne's looking for that, we didn't tape yesterday, but we'll be back next Tuesday at regular time. So, and of course, we'll be on this Friday. Please get on there, subscribe for us here. You can see at the bottom scrolling text that we have a contest going on, ongoing contest for the rest of the year for the 2021 draft guides. It's out now, full force. So they're really good, man. They're hot. Check them out if you can. What do you think, Roxanne? Did you find it?
No, it's nothing important. All I have bookmarked is Stephen Gilmore didn't show up to camp, and I can't imagine why. I thought that was important, really.
Who?
Stephen Gilmore.
Yeah, Patriots.
Patriots.
Your favorite cornerback.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. John might have some. He's better at corners than I am.
I
So,
haven't.
folks,
I just,
please, if you
yeah.
have a cornerback question, address John. I don't want it. I mean, I'll send it to him.
Yeah, that's all it was. I just saw he didn't show up to camp yet.
Yeah,
Which is nothing to be worried about at this point yet.
Right. It's early, and he wasn't that great last year anyway. So there are better options. Yep.
Right. Yep. All right. So, did you guys want to start with some names? I have 3 or 4 we can go over. If you guys have some you want to start with.
Nope. Hit us up.
Okay,
You have the floor.
I started with inside linebackers, and the top 10 of some people's lists are gone. I just took some names from like 5 rankings, and if they have the 3 same names, we're going to go with them. You know what I mean? So they're within those of 5, but they're not all per se Gary's rankings.
Sweet.
So
Sweet.
we have Tremaine Edmonds, Eric Kendricks, or Isaiah Simmons, and the top 10 are gone. Do you want me to go over the top 10?
So what are we picking for? Like 4
Standard.
Standard.
Yeah, let's just pretend like we're new people. We're teaching new people. Let's not get too complicated. John doesn't have tons of time.
Just pick the best out of the 3.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
Okay.
Or why you're picking the one out of the 3 when those 3 are available.
Right.
Gotcha. So is Edmonds, Kendricks, and Simmons?
Yes.
Okay. Redraft. I am probably going. Man, so Kendricks he's getting old. He does get dinged sometimes, but if he's playing, he's locked in. Like, could easily be a top 10 guy. I like Edmonds a lot, so it's between those 2. Simmons, yeah, the ceiling is super high, but that's a dynasty thing. We're not sure that's going to happen this year. So if we're playing redraft, I'm just putting that out of the conversation. So for me, it's Kendricks or Edmonds. I think I'd go probably. Oh man, I'd probably flip a coin, but I think I'd go Kendricks. A year ago, I would have said Edmonds, but the Bills are better offensively. They've got more competition for tackles. They got Poyer and good secondary, and they've worked their defensive line. And Matt Milano, when he's healthy, is really good. So less to eat overall for the Bills, and Kendricks is just a monster when he plays.
Yeah, I think he's the most reliable choice right here. Out of the 3, Edmonds will probably get us, like I've said this before, is average of 116, 118 combined tackles, but I think the ceiling is just as good with Kendricks, with a little bit more, and he's a little bit more. He's been a lot more consistent over his career than Edmonds has for me, at least in some aspects. And Simmons, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd like to swing at defense, but when you're stuck with that 3 and you're in a redraft, yeah, I agree. It's
right.
Go ahead and go safe here.
Right. And like you said, Minnesota's defense should be on the field a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
And they're not the same defense they were just 3 years ago either. So Kendricks, Harrison Smith's not the same. They lost their free safety and free agency. Barr's coming back aged off injury. Hunter, we don't know about him. The whole, it's everybody. So Kendricks could clean up a lot, get an extra opportunities there.
Right.
Sweet. You got another one for us?
And we're going to go farther down the list. So the top 20 are taken now. Same inside linebackers. So this is just a little deeper. Maybe later in the draft, you have a few extra picks you need to fill. These aren't, I don't think, these are the top in the 20s. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Zion Brown, Kenneth Murray, and Devin Bush.
Ooh, that's easy for me. It's Jayon Brown. If he's healthy and playing, he will play every snap. Unlike Devin Bush or who was the other one?
Zion Brown.
Yeah, Jayon Brown.
Bush,
Devin
Brown,
Bush.
and who?
Kenneth Murray.
Oh, Kenneth Murray. Okay, Kenneth Communications Issues Murray, who got yoinked off the field for being literally an idiot last year. That's why. That's what happened. He could not, relay the defense through a microphone. That's who we're talking about. So I go ahead and count me out on Kenneth Murray. If Jayon Brown is healthy and playing, he stays in on passing downs, unlike Devin Bush. The competition for tackles is not nearly what it is on Pittsburgh. For sure.
No. He still has a lot to prove himself too, in my opinion.
Those two are young. Kenneth Murray and Devin Bush, they're very young still.
Yeah, he's actually on my fade list. My fade, even in Dynasty, I'll reinvest in some Dynasty in him when he shows that he can actually do what some of the other guys that replace him from time to time can do.
Yeah, right.
Right. How did Spielin come on there last, or is it Spielin? Or
Spillane.
He come on, and all of a sudden he was hot. It was like, it didn't last, but still though, there's just those kinds of feeds. So I agree. No Bush, no Murray, fading him too. Just based off of last year, there's other options out there. You got to be, and one of them would be Brown. I know he missed a lot of last season and stuff, but he just re-signed with them. He's probably playing for a contract, his final contract of his career. I don't think he's that old, maybe 28, 29.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not 26. That old. So he's 26.
Right.
So he's looking for that end of a good stretch prime career contract then, Right. So, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay,
I was just going to debate the Bosa brothers real quick.
Ooh, either Bosa?
Yeah. Either Bosa.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. I like that. That's tough because they're both great, but they're both made of glass. So which one is which one do you think's gonna play this year?
Flip that glass quarter and see if it shatters. Right.
I'm going Nick. So Joey is the better player technically, and pressures and all that jazz. But Nick feels younger and less likely to break on me.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to go with Nick because I like their defensive line when healthy a little bit better in San Fran.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty much the only thing that I can think of. It's going to be interesting because, like Joey, they don't have Melvin Ingram anymore. So who's that? Who's that other rusher? Right. So if they got more time to key off on Bosa, he might have a harder time this year. He's still young too, but he's only so good. So Bosa, good one.
Yeah.
All right, John, it's your turn real quick then. Right.
Okay, I got one for you. So I'm gonna throw. I guess it could be 4. So these are the productive free safeties that everyone takes in IDP, right? Do you want Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, Minkah Fitzpatrick, or Kevin Byard, and why?
Fitzpatrick's in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the last name?
Fitzpatrick, Kevin Byard, Titans.
Okay, Simmons, Bates, Simmons, Bates. I'm taking Fitzpatrick right out of there.
Yep.
I mean, I want to see him get more of a steady combined tackle consistency type thing instead of flash plays all the time. I mean, it'd be nice. It's something it's hard to rely on. Just like get another boost, at least do again what he did last year to improve it a little bit more.
Yeah. Do it more than once.
Yeah. And then who was the other?
Kevin Byard. You could probably take him right out of there too.
I'm probably going to exit it on him because I just like Justin Simmons and Bates roles better.
Yes.
So man, it'd be a real coin flip. It's a little. I got to give the edge to Simmons personally, but I mean that's a hard call for me. I do like Bates too, so I'd be really stoked to have either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree with anything there. Of course, I'll have to go with Simmons because home team always.
Yeah, Denver fan sitting there. That's hard not to.
Right.
And Simmons hasn't missed a snap in like 3 years either.
Right.
Like, Bates is great too, and Bates is super young. Also, like Gary said, I'd be so happy with either. So happy with either.
And what's even more kind of interesting, it's more like. Bates gets his because the rest of the defense is
right.
It's not good. So Bates is going to get. Whereas with Simmons, they actually they funnel they make that defense work for the safeties. Well, Justin Simmons actually.
Right.
That's where they kind of focus that on. So it's actually kind of tailored around him to put him in position. If people didn't know that, so Bates is still good. Maybe eventually they do it a little bit maybe over there, but yeah, they got a long ways to go. But either one of them would be sweet.
I agree.
Got any more for us, Roxanne?
Me? Yeah.
Sweet.
I
haven't had to look at one. I'm happy.
So I'll do edge rushers, and we'll go Joey Bosa, Cameron Jordan, or Shaq Barrett.
Ooh, what? Okay, so this is redraft one season. Who? Boy,
Bosa, Barrett, and who?
And
Cam Jordan.
Oh,
yeah. I'd be awfully tempted to go Barrett just because he is durable and it's guaranteed double-digit sacks. We're just a couple of years removed from 19 and a half sacks. What do you have, like 15, 16 last year? He's super duper solid. They got a great defense over there.
He's been consistent since he's been a Buck.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Like, I know what I'm getting out of him. Bosa, I'm either getting the sky's the limit or he's just sitting on my bench on IR the entire season. So I'd probably go Barrett.
Where do you want to invest your pick right there?
Yeah.
Somebody like
who was the third? I'm still stuck on Barrett.
Oh, Cam Jordan. Which is a good option too. Yeah.
Right. I might actually take Cam over Bosa if I don't know. It depends if I'm swinging for the fences or not. Cam's dropped off some. The everything got funneled to Hendricks last year. Davenport's not. Cam's getting a little older, so I probably would. I just stick with the consistent that I feel the ceiling is going to be there, and that's Barrett. Yep. That was a good one too.
That is good.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling. I have one more.
If any of you have any comments, we can keep going. It's only 9:38. These are rolling nicely, so we can make up some more if we want. But if you want, go ahead there, Roxanne.
Okay, so we're going to go defensive line, and your top 3 picks are off the board, and you have to choose from Grady Jarrett, Stephen Tuitt, or Kenny Clark.
Oh, that's a good one. Those are
that's it. Yeah, God, she's rolling, ain't she? I got to go first on one, man.
Yeah,
I am going to stick my foot in my mouth. No, not really. I'm going to go to it. I like how he came on strong last year. I love Grady Jarrett, but man, he's the only guy on that defensive line. Mm-hmm. They double teamed him a lot last year. That's probably not going to change. That's why we see a decline. Kenny Clark is just one phenomenal type of athlete for a big man like he is. But unfortunately, he plays more of that nose tackle type thing in there. And he just, he's the man in the middle and the outside edge rusher's feet more than he ever gets to the quarterback. So, I'm going to go to it. I actually, and it seemed funny because when Dupree went down and Heisman, I think Heisman's his name, came in, I think Tuitt actually got better. Or the opportunities better for IDP. I think his stats went up a little bit. I don't know why, but I think I'm going to go to it.
Yeah, and I would, if he was still in the Steelers, I would be with you 100%. It's just I don't know what the hell he's going to be like over. Although he will be with Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah, he's on at the Titans on now.
No.
Yes.
Pittsburgh, cross from
What?
Cameron Haywood.
Yeah.
What? Hang on.
All right.
Who left the Steelers? Was it?
Dupree went to Tennessee.
Oh, Dupree. I'm thinking.
Went to
my
Tennessee.
apologies.
Yeah,
My
Yeah,
apologies.
no,
I'm
talking
thinking
that
Dupree.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Then I might be with you. Because Tuitt. Hard to argue with that. And Jarrett's been great. Grady Jarrett's been great, but he's got no help. They got Dante Fowler, big stinker last year, right? Big stinker. The only person that flashed, it was sad. The only person that flashed there was Stephen Means for a few games. That's it.
And then all of a sudden that ended really quick.
That was gone too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was gone really. And he's probably I don't think he's even, as far as I can tell, being considered as a starter, but it surely wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, they could use it. Yeah,
right.
And no, I'm with you. Jarrett's great, but Tuitt I think might have the better ceiling on the better defense.
For fantasy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I planned on Sam being here and talking some more. So I
but I mean, he couldn't be here. The migraine emergency room thing or something, but it was legit. So hey, we'll get him. We'll get him. We'll get that little reunion in at some point.
Right.
It might be in season. It might be in a 4-year reunion. Who knows? Right, John?
Hang on, I might have one for you.
Sweet. I was just now opening mine up.
Okay.
Do a couple more if you're all good.
Yeah. So older defensive line guys, DN type guys. Do you want Trey Flowers, DeMarcus Lawrence, or Jason Pierre-Paul?
Oh, Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, of course.
Pierre-Paul?
Yeah, I'm going Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
I met him, so I have to pick him.
Right. I just don't think that he gets the respect that he kind of does. I mean, the guy's still consistent. I mean, I don't know. I think he's still hit the last 2 years.
Oh no,
Definitely.
Great year last year.
So,
but Lawrence did too, though. Lawrence had a really nice year last year. And Flowers disappeared, of course, so we don't even consider him.
If Lawrence had a good season about 3 years ago, and then he fell off, and then he had a good season last year. It was kind of like a little bit of a spring back or a rebound year for him last year. And I mean, but overall, consistency wise, I don't know why JPP keeps falling like he does a lot of times in drafts, but I guess it's an age. Yeah. What is he, like 30, 31,
32.
maybe? 32.
Age and position. Some places have him as a linebacker.
Redraft, I think I'd go with him still.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Any reason for me to cheer for the Bucks?
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that. It would be him or Lawrence for me, for sure.
Lawrence, we're talking about DeMarcus Lawrence, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Everybody thinks the Cowboys offense is going to be tremendous and just going to flash. And I think there's a chance that they could fumble around a lot and the Cowboys defense could be on the field a lot more than people are anticipating.
Oh yeah. I'm with you. I am not anticipating a good season. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 5. I know I am a realistic Cowboys fan.
Yes, you are.
This is the part of the season where everything looks good on paper and everyone's super excited. It'll be effing disaster by week 4, like every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let me pull one off here. So same scenario, whatever. We're down on the list of ways. I say Jordan Brooks, Drew Greenlaw, or Matt Milano.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So this is deep. These are deeper plays, folks.
Yeah, I've heard James talk about Greenlaw, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I haven't studied this too much, and I go off anything James says, so I'd have to go with Greenlaw.
Yes, you love James's takes, don't you?
I do. I think he's fucking smart.
He's really gonna. I mean, he's young. He's young. He's going to be around for a long time, folks. So if you haven't caught him, he's what's about money or something. But either way, you'll catch him on our show. James is. Yeah. I'd love to have him on more. You know, he's a busy guy. He's working a lot, and he's writing like crazy. The guy's a baseball dude. He does offense. He does rankings. You know, so
he's super
hopefully here in the future,
baseball too.
Yeah. When baseball season ends, we're hoping to reel some of that extra time he might have on in. So we're just waiting it out. But all right, so Greenlaw
for me,
because James said to. I got you.
Just because I remember him.
Was it Greenlaw, Milano, and Brooks? Right.
Yep.
Yeah. You want me to take this, or you want to go?
I asked it.
A good point. Okay, so I am also going Greenlaw for slightly different reasons. So Brooks, I don't believe that's going to be a thing until it's in front of me and I see it and it's on paper and it's part of the stats, because I watched, unlike other people that just look at ADP on Sleeper and think it's like automatically reality. I look at all this shit every year. And last year, he had plenty of opportunity to play, and the Seahawks rotated that third guy, a bunch of them in and out through the season. He had his shot.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
And he didn't stick. He didn't stick. You know, he had his shot. He didn't stick.
Right.
So I don't believe it.
Right.
Yet. Milano, I like a lot, but he's made of glass, and even when he was healthy last year, he never got up to his full snaps again. So I don't know if I can believe that. Plus, a lot of competition for tackles. Really good offense there. 49ers may be a little bit of an offensive dumpster fire. Jimmy G is like a great husband, but maybe not the greatest quarterback.
Right.
There's my hot take for you on that. So yeah, I'd be happy with Greenlaw or Warner over there in 49ers land for sure. Yeah.
As I can't say former fan, Matt Milano, you know, he's had plenty of time. He did just resign, but he's not proven that he can stay on the field every season. There's just a lot of question about it. So when looking amongst the three, I wouldn't kick Milano off my roster, but I got to go Greenlaw too. I think they finally decided, like they kept bringing in Alexander last year. They kept screwing around. As long as he gets to play 80+% of the snaps, I think he's going to have a nice enough ceiling in combined tackles to get the job done. And Brooks, I like Brooks a little bit, but you brought up a great point. He had all this chances last year while Adams wasn't at full health. They were just having various problems within that defense of keeping players on the field. And he never really developed any more of a role than any of the other strong side linebacker. Cody Spartan, maybe some other couple of names over the last few years. They've gotten drafted, and he's heir apparent for these guys, you know. So somebody's got to play this year,
right.
But we don't know what level of play that he's going to have. So definitely for me, I'm going to go with Greenlaw then.
Yay! So I was listening to James Wright. He taught me well.
Yeah. Anybody else got one off the top of your head?
No.
I can find one.
Yeah.
Gary, you want to do a corner one?
No.
Yeah, do a corner.
No, I do not want to
Come
I do
on.
not want to do any cornerbacks, please.
What if they're Ohio State cornerbacks?
Well, I don't play Ohio State fantasy football, so I mean, they still, I draw my limit even as a fan.
Fine. All right.
I
No,
love seeing them come and
Cornerbacks
have
matter,
success.
Gary.
they do. They do,
What?
Gary. They do.
Yeah.
matter.
Cornerbacks
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, I'd almost soon just go ahead and take that kicker. All right.
Wow.
All right, here we go. I got a safety one. If you still got another one, John.
No. Go ahead. I'm looking. Go ahead.
All right, I'm realistically still just flying by the seat of my pants here. Yeah, what do you think about Sam Curl? Let me ask you just a straight out question, John. What do you think about Sam Curl? Now we know that. I think that people are starting to trust now that Collins is going to come back, which I don't understand why the guy has one down year that they were on him so badly. He's dropped down in some rankings and stuff, and all the love's there for Cameron Coral.
Yeah,
Curl.
Cameron Curl.
Yeah. What do you think, Curl? If he ends up playing the free safety, which it was the last I heard, so. Collins is still. What's he going to produce? They're going to have a little bit better. We already know they got a great line, so there's only going to be so much production past that line into the second level. So where you've got the rookie Davis reportedly pretty fast. Hey, we got a VP guest. Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But you got Davis in there. He's supposed to be pretty quick. I think he is supposed to be pretty quick.
Hey, are we talking about
actually,
Cameron Curl or no?
What's that?
Yeah.
Washington safety.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think, John? How much IDP meat could actually be on the bone for him?
Okay. So
I'm excited.
Here's the if nothing changes scheme wise and like the production style out of that defense, when Collins is healthy, that other safety is extremely hit or miss. They rotated a bunch of guys through there before they landed on Cameron Curl last year. Mm-hmm. That was like a rotating door. With the injuries to Collins and everything else. Like guys like DeShazer, Everett were out there. Like there's all kinds of wild crap happening. And very occasionally that safety would have a nice game, but it was not a consistent thing. And if Collins and Curl are both healthy, I don't think we're getting them both consistent. And my money's on Collins to be the more consistent of the two. So I'm not really buying into it, to be honest with you. If he's free somewhere late, yeah, I'm into it. But I'm not going out of my way to get him.
Yeah, and it's with Collins on the field. And you got Davis. Holcomb actually did pretty well last year. Bostic's there.
Yeah,
Bostic's there.
Yep.
He's solid enough. But, yeah, at the free safety position, if that's where Curl plays, I don't see how he can have that kind of production that he did last year.
Yeah.
So especially with that pass rush, those quarterbacks are probably going to tuck that ball and run more or tuck that ball and take a sack than they are going to be to have to, try to throw it down the field and he get on the play. So that's kind of how I felt about it too. I had him a little higher than I was thinking about this when I was doing my rankings in the off season. Of course, they're the early off season ones. I'll probably adjust them down knowing it looks like Collins is definitely going to return. I couldn't imagine them switching them and putting Collins back there at the free safety position. I don't think that'd just kind of be counterproductive realistically.
Right.
So you put your veteranship there. You got one there, John?
Yeah, I can cook something up. And it's just funny you mention that because a lot of what I've seen, with startups this year is people just assuming that last year is going to happen again, like exactly the way it happened, like across the board.
It's never happened before.
Yeah. We're not stuck in a time loop. This year will be different than last year. Probably very different because there's not going to be a freaking plague, and we're not going to be playing games on Wednesday, and not everyone's going to be injured and gone by week 2 because we didn't have mini camp. So it's going to be a very different year. So, that's
actual people in the stadium screaming, maybe.
Yes, right.
Right.
That made a difference. That made a huge difference last
Oh
year.
yeah. That whole people. I don't think people will really understand on how big of an advantage the offense has when in a lot of those stadiums when that peak thing can't. They were piping it into us on the games as we watched the shows.
Right. It wasn't happening there. Yeah.
Right. And some, weren't happening at all. And then some, they ain't going to turn that up that loud.
No.
That's home field advantage of what you do with that noise, for your offense. Of course, you don't want to be that jackass that, now the other team's offense is on the field, so you turn up the crowd noise to gain an advantage. Right. That would probably be frowned upon as a moral thing. But as far as, is that made a big difference. The offense could communicate better without that noise.
Rod. How many of those false starts did Rodgers cause himself last year? In away stadiums, not at home. In away stadium.
Yep. It's definitely an advantage. So we'll have like John said, we're going to have a whole, hopefully different ball game this year. And there's only those consistency players. The top 5 you can't even really say top 10 anymore. The way that things have been gone, been going. I mean, I think you like at the linebacker position, you got Martinez, you got Schwarber, you got Wagner, you got Leonard, and Smith. I can't count White in there because he just got up there. But those are probably your top consistency guys over the last 3 to 4 years. When you look at the defensive linemen or edge, let's go with edge rushers first. You would be talking about J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt, Barrett. I like Xavier Smith, but
Zadarius Smith,
yeah. He's been up there, and I mean defensive end wise, those are all outside linebackers, folks. So they're edge rushing off a different scheme, but the defensive ends, you can't really say the same about the Bosa, Hunter, Garrett. I mean, Garrett got thrown out of the league for a while.
Yeah, and then COVID took him out for a minute too. So.
Right. Yeah. So I think your most consistency, and you said talking consistency. Then you have your safeties. I guess we got a few more safeties that might be in there. Buda Baker. Adams on average when he's in, and then Will Simmons. Bates has done pretty good. Who else? Well, Poyer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few more of those maybe consistent-wise. But
people don't want to hear this, but this is the truth about playing fantasy football. Your draft and your startup and all this stuff, not a very big slice of the pie.
No.
If you can't adjust in season and stay on top of your shit, you don't have a chance. You do not have a chance. We can take all the shots we want and make all the educated guesses we want now. If we're not on top of it during the season, it doesn't matter. We don't know anything now. It's June.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Even preseason, the first few weeks can be so aggravating. I think it's almost become the norm. I feel like before 3 or 4 years ago, John, that you kind of had a feeling in the first couple of weeks what's going to happen, and you were usually going to be guessing and being, you're being right. And it's like this year or the last 3 years or so, the first 3 weeks of the season are just, it's just a mayhem. It's like, what is going on here? And then it takes into that 5th or 6th week before, and it's still not been the same. The consistency, like you say, has not exactly been there. So it just kind of a new feel each year anyway. So
yeah.
Roxanne, not to cut you off or anything, would you think anything about that at all? Nothing?
No.
Yeah. Just blabbering on is all we're doing. We appreciate it, folks.
To you guys at this point.
Yeah. We could talk football all day long. I've always loved talking to John. One of my favorite guys to talk fantasy football with, at least IDP. So
yeah,
right.
Except them corners. We don't like those corners. Right?
I'll talk corners with you, John.
All right, good.
No dirty O and
no dirty O.
I can't even put it on the cornerback. So we can talk offensive now and getting defensive, but it better be or offense better lead to defensive reasoning.
Right. There you go.
Right, right. All right, let me slide one more by you, man, and then we'll probably call it an evening.
Okay.
We haven't had any questions or anything, but it's been a damn good time. So I always appreciate this. Let's see. I'm trying to dig deep here on this, man.
I got a young safeties one if you want me to do that.
Yep.
Okay. So Jonathan Abram, Xavier McKinney, or Tracy Walker. All three of them have a lot of promise, but all three have had their own issues, whether that be injury or unfortunately landing on the Lions and having a homeless idiot coaching them for a year.
Yeah. Or longer.
Or longer.
Actually, yeah, he was there longer.
Yeah,
So-
he was there longer. Right.
So Walker, Abram, and who?
Xavier McKinney, Giants.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I like Xavier. I like to think he's going to do good things up there, replace Joel Pepper. But I mean, for me, it's Tracy Walker. It just really boils down to, at least I've seen a lot of him to know, hopefully he can stay on the field. I think the upside there is, and you look at the teams and the defense, yeah, give me Walker. I like Walker.
Yeah, they don't have much. They're in Detroit, right?
No.
So,
How old's Collins now? Jamie Collins has got to be, he's up there.
oh, God. Yeah.
He's still flying around pretty damn good. I mean, the guy was a beast, but that's your best defender, technically.
He's
Right?
31.
By
Yeah.
name.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right. Then you got Flowers. There, he's all right. Not knocking him, but
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Let's see. You want to add any of that? Was Walker who you was going with?
Oh, man. I would say the ceiling could be Abram just because of the new defensive scheme they got there, and it's always produced good safeties. But once again, you breathe on him too hard, he's gone for the season, so you can't trust that. McKinney, I love the talent, but I don't like the situation. That's a crowded secondary, loaded with all pros. Logan Ryan, well, maybe not Jabril Peppers is an all pro, but there are talented guys there. Bradbury's going to take production. You know what I mean? Dory Jackson just got there. It's loaded. I don't know if I can trust that. So yeah, I probably would go Walker.
Well, that was so funny because I was looking at Walker. I was going to compare. I was going to package Amani Hooker, Marcus May, and Tracy Walker. My bottom three, my 30, my 31, and 32. Mays has got a new defensive scheme coming in. Maybe that'll benefit him a little bit. There's a question. He's never peaked as a DB1 and stayed there at all. So we got Hooker coming in at Tennessee, supposedly taking over the strong safety position, or going to be on the field a hell of a lot somewhere as a safety. And then, then we just talked about Walker. The opportunities there again. There's nobody else on that depth chart. Will Harris, which we'll probably see quite a bit of him too, maybe playing the free safety. That's the only thing that might concern me about Walker. Have they actually said he will be the starting strong safety? I think they're still right. They're still going through that process. So Will Harris could, depend. Maybe he ends up the strong safety and they put Walker back here in the back. That might make a difference. But who would you do with that? May with the Jets, Tennessee's Hooker, or Walker?
Yeah, probably still Walker.
Yeah, I got him that way. Walker, May, Hooker. I'm starting to like Hooker just a little bit more each week, passing week.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you taught me anything, it would be Hooker.
Yeah. Yeah,
I those names,
Yeah, yeah, right. He's creeping up the board for me.
Right.
I mean, when I redo this stuff here in July or August for the preseason or something, I imagine he's climbing up my boards quite a bit. It would be tough. There's no competition for him. I believe he's going to end up with a strong safety. I think I've seen enough quotes that he'll be the starting strong safety. And that's a pretty productive position. I mean, I don't think Vaccaro ever actually peaked at what it could have been.
He was usable though. He was usable for years. For years. Yeah.
And then Evans become a 2-down guy last year. They were running more defensive backs, and Hooker was part of that rotation out there. And then you got Brown. So to me, it really would fall a lot on that strong safety position of Hooker and Brown, probably being the guys that stay out there and are right there all the time. So I like him, but it's going to be tough. I think one thing Walker's got going for him is that team's probably going to struggle.
Oh yeah,
Walker's probably going to see quite a bit more time on the field than Hooker.
Wait, you'll think Jared Goff's gonna get it done with all the weapons in Detroit?
Nah, just run the ball, man.
Yeah, if I were them, that's what I'd do.
Yeah,
just give it to DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right. Run them till the wheels fall off. Right. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. I appreciate it, John. I'm going to turn this over to Roxanne. I'm getting tired. This old man's about ready to go. My wife, actually, I'm just going to mention, if you're actually listening, put out some good vibes from my mother-in-law. My wife went down to visit her. She knew I had this going on. We thought everything was all right, but apparently when you got there, she's feeling a little sick. So they rushed her off to the emergency room. First thing I'm going to do here is text and see how they literally got there to the hospital, I think like 8:30, something like that. So put out some good vibes for me, folks, and my mother-in-law.
Absolutely. Of course.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's good talking with you guys. I'm sure we'll be doing this again before the season starts.
Oh yeah.
Well,
It was
she means us three or John being involved. John works a lot. I can't get him to quit his job and come on to full time during the day. We tried to negotiate, but he wanted 2 boxes, and I only have 1. So either way, but we'll see you guys Friday, right, Roxanne?
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
11 o'clock, our new time.
And we're going to play this game again. Yes.
Yeah, we'll probably do the same thing. It just kind of works. Warm up, a little bit of conversation, and roll into them. It went real well tonight. I like these again. So far, I haven't left there going, man, that sucked.
Right.
We're good.
For me, I can learn about other positions, especially from like knowledgeable people.
Yeah. And we'll get James back on here so you'll listen to somebody.
Always listen. Always listen.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get our little doodad ready here. And I guess we're going to call it a night. What do you guys think?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.